Operation Lion Shadow. A private banking house in London has been seized by terrorists in paramilitary gear. They have taken hostages and opened fire on the Metropolitan Police. As several of the hostages are Swiss nationals, both the British and Swiss governments have requested your assistance in this matter. Your mission is to liberate the bank and any hostages within, and prevent the destruction of valuable financial records that we believe are the terrorists' target.
Both the British and Swiss governments are asking for our help on this one. Apparently, there are Swiss nationals inside the bank carrying sensitive financial documents, but they're not willing to say more at the moment. Obviously, the Swiss government is very concerned about what happens to both their people and their papers. The bank's 4 centuries old and private, which means that it's built like a fortress. We're looking at thick walls, thick doors, and good sight lines. There are 2 routes down to the vault, which is where we suspect the hostages are being held. Be careful of snipers on the walkway on the upper level. It's where I'd put my men if I were trying to hold this thing. The other thing to watch for is the bank's security system. It looks like the terrorists got it back online. One of their people is monitoring their camera setup from the security room on the 1st floor to the right of the front doors. Should probably take him out from outside the building.
We have a positive ID on the man in charge of the London bank operation. His name is Douglas Preston. He's a British Army vet, decorated for service in Kuwait. He's also a major embarrassment to the British government. It seems once their war hero got home, he declared his sympathies for an organisation called the Unified People's Front, which is an umbrella for every neo-fascist group in the UK. Officially, he split from the UPF 6 years ago. Unofficially, his politics haven't changed, and he's been connected to some illicit arms sales to paramilitary groups in Colombia. In short, he sounds like just the sort of man Gutierrez would have over for a drink. Preston's dossier says that he's good at what he does, which means that this operation's going to be no cakewalk. His site profile indicates that he has no problem using hostages as human shields, and his men are likely to be highly trained and well armed. He's a bit of a perfectionist, very cautious, so don't wait for his squad to make mistakes. They won't.
Stop him! Over here.
We'll do whatever you say.
God, don't let him find me.
What was that? Well, what have we here? No playing hide and seek, girl. If you try to run again, you're gonna be dead.
London police already have men down. Let's not take any more casualties.
Threat down. Threat neutralized.
That's on.
Threat down. Threat neutralized. Threat eliminated. Threat down. Hostile down. Tango down. Tango neutralized. Threat neutralized. Tango down. Hostile down. Threat neutralized. Hostile neutralized. Tango down.
Hello? Hold it tight!
Hostile neutralized. Contact.
I'm getting out of here! I've had it!
Hostile down. Open it. Yes, sir. Hold up. Fall in. In formation.
That's odd.
Tango down.
What was that? Help!
Threat neutralized.
Hello? Look out!
Tango down. Hostile neutralized. Open door. I'm on it. Hold up. Fall in. With you, sir. Hostile down. Threat down. Hostile neutralized. Hostile eliminated. Threat
Mission
neutralized.
completed.
Well done.
Guys were amazing. They just burst in, and there was this flash.
Yes, well, the Metropolitan Police's immediate response to this sort of incident is to try to maintain the safety of the hospital.
Operation Broken Stone. We have concluded that the meatpacking operation in Pilar is being used as a distribution vector for chemical agents. The Argentine government confirms that several of Gospic's operatives have recently entered the country and have been spotted in Pilar. Your mission is to secure the meatpacking facility and prevent the dispersal of the chemical agent.
Intel's convinced that Gospic has gotten his hands on multiple chemical weapons. If he was behind the British bank operation, then it makes sense that Preston was his supplier. Preston made a lot of contacts in Kuwait, including a few with access to the old Soviet chemical weapons labs. It seems highly probable at this point that Gospic has his hands on some amount of VX nerve agent. VX is extremely lethal and very durable, and can be absorbed through skin contact. That's why he had his fingers in the meatpacking plant. The plant ships beef all over the world, including Europe and Israel. We're talking mass murder across a dozen countries. Now, we could probably interdict any shipments from the plant after the fact, but that's too risky. I want us to take that nerve agent into custody before a single drop gets used. That's why we're going back to the meatpacking plant. The Argentine government confirmed sightings of some of Gospic's men in and around Pilar, which means that there's no time to waste. Saddle up. You're going hunting for nerve gas.
We finally have the full picture, thanks to the documents you rescued in London. They are, to put it mildly, explosive. A collection of banking records dating to the Second World War, detailing the systematic looting of assets of Holocaust victims by the Third Reich, their allies in the Ustaša regime in Yugoslavia, and complicit bankers in Geneva. Names are named, including one Peja Sikic. You might remember him. He's the senior citizen that Venezuela wanted to deport just before the unpleasantness at the refinery. In addition, there are repeated mentions of an attaché to the Ministry of Finance, a man named Dejan Blazevik. We've got a picture of Blazevik, and, on a hunch, one of the lads at Intel used some imaging software to make a projection as to what he'd look like now. The end result looks a lot like our Mr. Nikola Gospic. It seems Blazevik got himself smuggled out of Europe in 1945. He arrived in the Caymans a few years later, calling himself Gospic. The money he used to set himself up with was skimmed from the accounts he'd helped liquidate. Intel's best guess is that he felt that the Sikic deportation proceedings might blow his own cover, so he started taking steps to hide his trail. That's not all he's up to, though. The repeated attacks on the Venezuelan oil industry, the chemical weapons, the neo-fascist ties, they add up to something more. Now on to more bad news. While Gospic doesn't have a stake in that import-export firm you hit in Brazil, Gutierrez does. And Gutierrez's import-export company does do an awful lot of business with firms that are owned by Mr. Nikola Gospic. In particular, there's some connection with the meatpacking firm in Pilar. We know all of this because of one of the phone calls we listened in on at Gutierrez's place. Gospic called Gutierrez to discuss their plans for that business. Plans that included using the VX chemical agents you confiscated in Brazil.
The layout should be familiar, but that's no reason to rush.
Mission failed.
Get down!
You'll have a lot more company in there than last time, and they're better armed. Be careful.
Threat down. Threat neutralized.
Mission failed. Operation Broken Stone. We have concluded.
Be very careful in there, and especially, watch what you touch.
Tango down. Threat neutralized. Tango down. Threat neutralized. Hostile neutralized. Threat down.
Mission failed.
The layout should be familiar, but that's no reason to rush.
Operation Broken Stone. We have concluded that the
Be very careful in there, and especially, watch what you touch.
Threat neutralized. Hostile Tango down. Hostile neutralized. Hostile down. Tango down. Hostile eliminated. Tango down. Threat eliminated. Threat neutralized. Contact. Tango down. Threat eliminated. Tango down. Hostile eliminated. Hostile neutralized. Open door. Ready. Down. Threat down. Threat eliminated. Contact. Contact. Tango down. Contact. Threat neutralized. Contact. Contact. Threat down. Hostile neutralized.
Mission
eliminated.
completed.
We're sending the hazmat boys in to deal with the nerve agent now. Good job.
Operation Briar Gate. Rainbow is authorized to search the estate of Nikola Gospic for evidence of more chemical weapons. Intel believes he is still in possession of a highly lethal blistering agent, which he... Operation Briar Gate. Rainbow is authorized to search the estate of Nikola Gospic for evidence of more chemical weapons. Intel believes he is still in possession of a highly lethal blistering agent, which he will attempt to use. Your mission is to prevent the destruction of evidence on Gospic's computer and to secure the estate using all necessary force.
Gospic has gone to ground, which just makes him more dangerous. He's found himself a hole somewhere. We're going to have to dig him out. We start with his mansion on Cayman Brac. It's highly unlikely he's there, but his stash of blistering agent might be. At the very least, Intel wants to go over that place top to bottom. If we're lucky, they'll be able to figure out what he's got left and where he's going to hit next. At this point, you should be familiar with the layout of the estate. We don't have any hostages to worry about this time, which is a bonus. But it also means that all resistance isn't going to be bottled up in the main house.
We've traced the origin of the VX ingredients you confiscated in Pilar. It's old Soviet manufacture, smuggled out by Preston. We've even managed to pinpoint the buy at which he got it. Unfortunately, it's not all he picked up on his little shopping trip. In addition to the VX, he got the compounds necessary to homebrew more of the stuff. And what we're pretty certain is a blistering agent. You nicked the former when you hit the import-export firm in Porto de Alegre, but the blistering agent's still out there. So's Gospic, for that matter, and Gutierrez along with him. The blistering agent we're looking at is most likely phenyl dichlorazine, a colorless, odorless liquid. It does a number on the eyes, lungs, skin, and guts of anyone who's been exposed. It's slightly less effective than so-called mustard gas, the grandfather of blistering agents. But that's about the only good thing about it. By the time the symptoms of exposure appear, it's already done its work.
There are no innocent bystanders in there. Take them all down.
Tango down.
That's odd.
Threat down. Tango down. Threat eliminated. Contact. Hostile eliminated. Tango neutralized. Hostile neutralized.
What was that?
Mission failed.
There's no need to worry about property damage this time. Clean the place out.
Hostile down. Threat down. Hostile eliminated. Tango neutralized. Contact. Hostile threat neutralized. Tango down. Hostile threat down. Hostile neutralized. Threat eliminated. Hostile Tango down. Hostile down. Hold up. Holding position.
What was that?
Hostile neutralized. Open it. Open. Fall in. Hold position. Holding. Move out. Move out. Move out. Let's go. Move, move, move. Tango down. Tango neutralized. Threat neutralized. Tango down. Hostile neutralized. Threat down. Hostile
Mission
neutralized.
completed.
Excellent operation, people. Nice and clean.
Operation Talon Steel. Men identified.